Hello and welcome everybody. Today I'm going to share my top 5 landscape photography planning tools with you that I use all of the times and that I really think can change the way you plan your landscape photography trips, as well as greatly enhance your photos that you will get. And the best thing of all, they're all completely free and range from a tool where you can simulate the 3D view of any place on the planet and also check how the lighting is going to look at a given time. Additionally to that, there's a tool where you can see the sun's position and also the sunset times, and even a map where you can see the best photos on a given location so you can get some inspiration and also find new locations. And at the end, I'm even going to show you how you can check 3D photospheres all over the world so you can see an actual place in high definition 3D so you can plan your trips and your photos even more precise. Build your own professional photography portfolio with SmugMug. SmugMug offers beautiful templates, unlimited storage on any plan, excellent 24/7 customer support, and all of that starts from less than $3 a month. Check out the link in the video description to get a 14-day free trial and even 15% off any paid plan. Alright, the first tool that I'm going to show you is Google Earth, and with Google Earth you can have a 3D render of any given scene and even see how the lighting is going to look at a given time. So it's a free program, I'm sure most of you already know it, and the first thing you want to do is either go to zoom into a place where you want to shoot, or just search for it in the search field. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to go to the Grand Canyon Horseshoe Bend, a very famous place, just to illustrate you the capabilities even better. So once you're at a place, you just want to zoom in as close to where you think you want to shoot. So let's say you want to shoot here, the Horseshoe Bend from the edge. Just make sure you zoom in, and eventually, after zooming in quite a while, you will get into the person view, which means that you get a 3D view of any given scene. And this isn't just for famous places, this is literally for the entire world. So no matter where you go, you can always use that tool. So let me just find a good spot where we don't really have an edge. And you see, this is even a great tool to pre-compose a scene, because here you could see, does that work? Would that framing work? Would I rather go to the other side? And you can really play around with that. I'm maybe going to show a little bit more of that in a second. But the really crazy thing that you can do here is go to this little sun behind the hill, and it will show you a preview of the lighting at a given time. And you can set that to any time or any date you want to. For example, if you want to go there in a week, and then you have this little slider, and as you go through this timeline, you see that the light changes. And this is really amazing and amazingly valuable as well. For example, you probably don't want to shoot at 6:30 p.m. because then everything is in shadow and you have kind of the sun directly in the frame, and you can see when is the sun setting and how is the light gonna be. And even at night, for example, if you want to shoot the Milky Way, you can see at which time it's gonna be in the position you want. And that is so extremely valuable, and I've even made a completely separate video about that, so I'm not gonna go too much into detail anymore because there are a lot more tools to cover. But definitely one of the most amazing tools to use, and I would absolutely suggest you to take advantage of it. But once again, even if you, let's say, you want to see if this place right here has some potential, you can just zoom in, once again get into the person view, and just kind of see how the framing of something is gonna be. And once again, you can even check where the placing of the Milky Way or how the lighting, where the sun is coming from, and all of that stuff is gonna be. So very great tool. The second tool I want to show you and that I use all of the time is the photographer's Ephemeris, and here you can see where the sun is going to be at a given time, and also where it's going to rise, where it's going to set, how long the times between those things are, when the sunrise time is, and all of these different informations. So let's say I want to, for example, go to this random place in the UK and I want to take a picture here. I just can can set this little pinpoint to anywhere, and I will see when the sunrise time is going to be, the sunset time, and even the different twilights during the morning as well as during the evening. You also have moonset, moonrise, and the great thing is here you can just grab this little bar and go through the whole day and see where the sun is coming from. So that way you can really plan, once again, maybe not as in depth as Google Earth, but it's a lot quicker, it's available as an app. And the sun's direction is really great to pre-plan, maybe even before you go into Google Earth. So absolutely amazing tool. Once again, there's a lot more to it. I've made a complete tutorial about this one as well, so be sure to check out the link in the video description for that. Then to the third tools. The third tools are actually 3 different ones that I'm gonna show you, but I kinda do all the same thing. And that is the map tools. I have here 500px map, Flickr map, and also Panorama. So if I go to 500px map and I search for a location anywhere in the world, let's just go to Zermatt, which is a place in Switzerland with the famous Matterhorn. But what you have here is all sorts of different pictures that were uploaded with the metadata of the location. So that is great if you want to go to a place and you want to just get some inspiration, and also if you want to find new places, because oftentimes you will just find a photo with a completely new location that you really find interesting and that you might want to shoot from. So absolutely great tool. And this is, for example, where I've learned about this amazing spot to shoot the Matterhorn from. I haven't shot it yet, but I definitely plan to. And Flickr Maps does pretty much the same thing. I personally prefer 500px map just because, at least in my opinion, the pictures tend to be a little bit better. And then Panorama, even though it does the same thing, it's a little bit different because there's really a lot more photos. So if I search for Zermatt, Switzerland here, you see there are a ton more pictures than on 500px and also on Flickr, but the pictures once again don't tend to be as good of a quality as with 500px or even Flickr. No matter what map you like best, you can of course also use all 3 together. It's a very important thing to use and incredibly inspiring, as well as incredibly informative to find new locations and new angles. And the fourth tool is 500px. Just as 500px has a map feature, it also has just an image sharing feature with a really great rating system. So most of the good pictures are always gonna be on top. And that is exactly why this tool is so valuable. So I'm just gonna search for Abisko here, which is a small town in Sweden, but of course you could go for any given place in the entire world. And the very important thing here is that you change this relevance from relevance to pause, because with relevance, 500px is going to decide what pictures it's going to show to you, and it's just kind of, going to show all sorts of pictures in between, from good and bad. But if you go here on pulse, it's going to filter from the best pictures to the worst pictures, so the highest rated pictures to the lowest rated. And you see the pictures here are a lot better. And if you, for example, want to visit Abisko, I think that is a great tool, even additionally to the map, because there's always going to be things that you're going to oversee. And that is a very, streamlined, very simplistic tool to find additional photos, to give you additional inspiration, and even just to find new places that you might want to shoot at. So absolutely great thing as well, and I would absolutely suggest you to use that as well. Just be sure to, once you've searched for a location, to go from relevance to pulse to really get the best pictures from that location. Alright, we're finally at the fifth and last, but certainly not least tool, and that is Google Maps, and more specifically Google Street View. And I'm sure most of you already know Street View, which is just a feature where you can see any street on the world, or at least anywhere where it's available. So anywhere where you see it in blue here is where you can just drop this guy and you will see a 3D view from a street, and that is very valuable in itself. So once again, it is not available for the entire world, just mostly in Europe and NA, but also some other places. And let me just go to Iceland to really illustrate you that the best, rather than going to a city or whatever. So I'm here in Vik in Iceland, which is kind of a cool place. And by default, you see we're on a street, on a road, and even though it's a road and you probably don't shoot most of your pictures from there, it's already really great to get a kind of a, overall feel of an area. And even you could pre-plan some of the compositions here, because there are, for example, some really cool places to shoot. For example, this itself, I think this would be a pretty good picture. So this is already a pretty cool tool in itself, once again, but an even more amazing thing that you can do is just once again grab this little guy, and as you can see we have the road, but we also have these little blue dots. And what these are is photospheres, so you can just drop this guy to any of the photospheres and it will give you a 3D view of the place. Now this is, all of these are made by actual users which have submitted these photospheres, so they're far and few in between sometimes, but they're actually, not as rare as you might think. For example, here in this very small area, there are already a ton of photospheres. So let's just go to another one, and this, this is from the plane crash, also very interesting because that way you can really see all the way around, and I think this is one of the most important things in all of landscape photography planning. So I, for example, have prepared 3 examples here of photospheres, and this is the famous, I don't even know what it's called, but I'm sure you know the location in Iceland of that mountain right here. But with a 3D photosphere, you can just look around and it gives you so much more perspective, so much more of an idea of what the place is actually like and what some areas that you might want to shoot from may be. So absolutely insanely valuable. And once again, another location here. These are just, by the way, some random locations I found while I was just looking around on different photospheres. So I just stumbled upon them and saved them because this, for example, is an amazing scenery. And once again, with the 3D view, you also get more than just a picture. You also get the environment and get an idea of how it's gonna be there. And over here we even have a nice little lake in Sweden. So once again, amazingly valuable thing because it gives you so much more immersion and so much more information rather than just a picture. It really makes planning so much easier. And once again, you don't necessarily, let's see here, you don't necessarily just have to go to the photospheres. You can also go to the road and kind of get a general idea of the area, of the vegetation of a place, and that is also very important in itself. So I think I keep repeating myself, so I think it's time to end the video, but once again, I think the street view is really the most valuable. And of course, if you combine that with the map feature, with the photographer's ephemeris, and especially with Google Earth's 3D view feature, I think you're gonna have a much easier time to plan your landscape photography trips, and ultimately it's gonna make your pictures a lot better. Thank you very much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already for more videos just like this one, Lightroom tutorials, and all sorts of different photography videos. And also, if you think your friends may find this video helpful and all of these tools, then of course sharing the video would also be hugely appreciated. Anyways, hope you found it helpful, see you in the next episode, and as always, take care. Build your own professional photography website or portfolio with SmugMug. SmugMug offers beautiful templates while still being 100% customizable, unlimited storage on any plan so you can upload as many pictures as you have. It has excellent 24/7 customer support and is used by professional photographers such as Elio Locardi, Chris Borghardt and Benjamin Van Wang. And the best thing, you will get all of that from less than $3 a month. So be sure to check out the link in the video description to get a 14-day free trial so you can try out everything for yourself without any payment information required. And then after the 14 days, if you like everything, then you will also get a 15% off any subscription. Building your own professional photography portfolio has never been easier or more affordable.